Hello everybody! Welcome back to another episode of Minecraft How to Build. Manticore here, and today, I kind of want to build something, but it might wind up being a little bit more like landscaping as opposed to building. But one way or another, I figured it would be something good for the next addition to our How to Build town. So without further ado, let's get on to today's project. Now, for today, I went ahead and cleared out this area, as you can see. Probably a big difference from the last episode. But I want to go ahead and make a plaza. So now, when you're building a custom city or village in Minecraft, there are two different ways that you can go about doing it, especially when they're larger scale. And one of those ways is to build it based around one central point, which is typically some kind of town square, or in this case, a plaza. So now I'm going to go ahead and clear out my inventory a little bit because we won't be needing all of these items. Now, I was actually kind of thinking I might use that wall, which I just got rid of, but oh well. Now, I want to do something a little bit different than just a plain old dirt path because that's super boring. And we can do one that sort of encompasses the plaza itself, but otherwise I want this to be more cement or brick, something along those lines. So now I think we'll go ahead, and the problem with this regular brick is that it can look very red after a while. So I think we'll go ahead and mix it up a bit and use some stone brick. Now I want to go ahead and just start by figuring out the center of where we want this to be. So I'm thinking roughly somewhere about here. Looking at this side looks good, and then turning over to here. That's not too bad. Let's see what we've got here, taking a bird's eye view. I think we need to bring it a little bit further down into this corner, but not too far, so I think something like that should be good for our center. Now, in the very center of a plaza, if that's what you decide to do in your world, you want to go ahead and have some kind of centerpiece. So that could be a statue or a really big tree. In this case, I think I want to go ahead and do a water fountain. So grabbing a bucket of water here, along with a bunch more stone that we can use. Oh, why not? Let's do some just regular old cobblestone to make this wall, and to make this fountain, not wall. Then a cobblestone wall is what I wanted. I'm going to go ahead and move some of this stuff aside for now. I really won't be needing most of it. Okay, so let's go ahead and just start building up this fountain. Now, since we kind of went ahead and decided that this 2x2 would be best suited, I'm going to go ahead and build up from that. So filling in this little section here, I think we'll just go ahead and fill it up with cobblestone. Nothing too fancy for now. And for underneath the water, I'm almost thinking that we should do something a little bit different so that it's not all cobblestone. Just because if you're working with a lot of cobblestone, it tends to be a little too much. So now we'll go ahead and just lay out the basic idea of what we want this to be. And you know what? This, that goes in there, right? Yeah, it does. Okay. Cool, cool. Why don't we go ahead and layer it down then? We might as well. It'll give the fountain itself a little bit more depth, or sort of like a wishing fountain, where you throw in those like little pennies and quarters. And if you're having a really bad day or week or month, you can go fishing for some of those. No, just joking. Don't do that in real life, folks. So going around here, we're just adding on to this a little bit at a time. do something like that. And then we'll take this out to here. And so since this is the center of town, we want this to be a really big fountain, which is why we're going so large with it here. And I'm almost wondering if it wouldn't be better to make it a 3x3. So, you know, let's go ahead and do that really quick. Basically, we're just going to be adding an additional section over here. And I'll go ahead and fly up above it so that way you guys can see what we're adding to. Okay, so this is going to be the new shape of it. And I think that looks pretty good. It's fitting this area pretty nicely. I do want to do a little bit more work around this cliffside, so I'm not too worried about that at the moment. But let's just go ahead and finish filling in this area. And you know what? What if we did some little lights? So this might be confusing now, but you guys will see what I mean here in just a moment. Okay, so something like that is what we've got going so far. And then in these... Oh, wait. Wait. Okay, so instead of in these corners, we'll go ahead and add onto here. We'll go ahead and place in the lights right in there. Okay. Now, you can do different things for this if you're playing in survival world, but in this case, since we are in creative and have easy access to it, I want to go ahead and use some sea lanterns. And so I think these should give the bottom of the fountain just a nice subtle glow without bringing too much attention to it. And if you've ever been in a pool that has those little submerged lights, that's kind of what I'm thinking of here. Okay, now that we've got those in, let's go ahead and finish up laying down our little bottom of the fountain, essentially. And I think we'll just start by adding another square around this layer. And, oh yeah, we got rid of the 4x4, so this is now completely off. Okay, I kind of forgot to include that in my calculations, but, okay, let's go ahead and pick these up. If you're doing this in Creative World, I do apologize. It's usually a good idea to watch my videos through a good 5 minutes before actually doing it yourself, because I mess up a lot. I can't even lie, guys. I do that, yeah. Oh, mistakes. Mistakes are made. We're all human, right? So now that we went ahead and filled out this entire thing, except for the border, I'm gonna go ahead and figure out the center here. So I'm kind of thinking that might be a good spot for the lanterns. Is that right? Yeah. Okay. What did I say a few videos back? Measure twice, cut once. Yeah, it's very accurate. So you know what? After all that, I think this is still even. Yep. So in the center, we've still got a 4x4, or 2x2, but that is okay, you know, because we can make it work. We are talented builders here. And so now I'm just laying down these stairs, and eventually, there we go. That's what we want, a little something like that. And I'm going to go ahead and lay down. This is going to take a long time if I use all half slabs, so I'm going to lay down some regular cobblestone in that outside border. And we'll take these all the way around. And then once we get this border in, we'll add those sea lanterns back into those little corners. Now that we have this border in, we can go ahead and lay down those sea lanterns. And you know, we might want to replace a few of these slabs with something else to make it look a little bit more decorative. But since it is going to be underwater, I am not going to worry about that just yet. For now, let's go ahead and lay down another layer to this border. And then we either want to do stairs around it leading up, or we want to do slabs. I haven't quite decided yet. So let's take a look here and see what we think. And you know, I think we actually want to get rid of these stairs down here and go up one more with that border as well. And you know what, let's do maybe even 2? Oh, we'll leave it like that for now. Okay, so now if we were to do something like that, it would make it look pretty bulky, so that might not be our best bet. But if we were to do the cobblestone slabs, how would that look? Okay, so it's not bad, but it's pretty wide. And we don't want the build to be too big, because it is still a fountain after all. So I'm thinking we just replace a few of these with stairs. And if we go around like this, so we're just leaving one block on the ends. And then this should be the last side. Okay, yeah, so something like that. And I must really be spacing it because I don't remember these little holes getting there. I thought I filled those all in. Oh well. So coming back around here, let's go ahead and add those stairs back now. And so that gives us a little bit something like that. And then I'm a little torn because I either want to do some upside down stairs in this same pattern, or I want to do some walls. Okay, you know, I think we'll do the walls first, and then we'll do those stairs. So I'm just gonna throw up some little blocks right about there, and then we'll place these upside down. Okay, so that gives us something like that. And then I'm thinking we should be okay to add the water. Or we could do another set of stairs. I just want to see how this looks with one more set. Okay. You know, I think it's a little too tall after getting a good look at it. Something you always want to do when you're coming up with custom builds. Oh, hello. That could be a problem. Okay. Well, I guess we will not be placing the water on this level yet then. Okay. So I was starting to say that it's always important to take a step back from your builds to see how it's looking. But it's also good to test things out. So now we'll go ahead and this should work. Okay, yeah, so that works right. And you know, I'm not sure if I like that little bit sticking out. I either really like it or I really hate it. Okay, so I'm gonna go with a dislike on that. And then we can either leave it like that, which in itself doesn't look too bad, or we can add some more slabs up to the top there to make it look a little bit more full. And I think we'll do that because we don't want too much water to be sitting up here. Okay, so now that we've got the actual fountain part of our fountain, let's go ahead and fill up this section right down here below. And we'll fill this all the way up to the top, so that means you'll have to place down 2 buckets. One for the bottom section with the slabs, and then one up above. And we'll just fill this in all the way. Whoops. There we go. Okay, that looks flat. Very nice. We got ourselves a little fountain going on here now, and I was just looking at that part. That kind of tripped me up. But other than that, that looks pretty good. Now, I think we'll go ahead and switch out these stone slabs with something a little bit more decorative in there, just because I don't want it to look too plain and boring. This is, after all, our centerpiece of the town center plaza square thing, whatever I'm trying to say. You guys know. You all are smart, you get what I'm saying, even if I don't. Okay, now I'm looking for something that just stands out a little bit more. This is what I wanted. Chiseled stone. Okay, so we'll place these, I'm thinking, oh, how about right here? And shoot, these are full blocks, so they're gonna stick out a little bit. Maybe we replace the entire border around the center fountain section. Okay, it's not too bad. Now, what we could do is we could also place these around the inside, but you know, I think that's okay. I think that's pretty good. Oh, I probably shouldn't have gotten rid of that. We might need that later. So now we want to go ahead and build up a little bit of a section around this water fountain. And I'm thinking that we take this out in a 2x2 from the center of the steps around the fountain. And then let's go ahead and make a circle around it here as well. So I think we'll take this out to the second inner block, and we'll see if that's long enough or if it's too long. And this one we haven't even done the 2x2 yet, so it's a little bit trickier to place, but we'll do that now. Okay, so if we do something like that, then we'll lay down these brick. Okay, now I'm thinking that we go in 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, wait, what's happening? This should be what? Oh, we didn't bring this one far out enough. Okay. Tripping myself up there. Let's place that there and that to there. Now that should work. We'll go ahead and go once we do it over here as well. Oh no, that was too far. Okay, so pretty much we'll go out 3 from this point. So go up 1, and then over 3, and then 1, and then it'll pretty much make a little bit of an M there. So if I hadn't accidentally popped that one out, this is what it would look like. And if you do that all the way around, you can sort of get the little circle going. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3. Alright. So that's pretty much what we have there. And then we want this little plaza section to be nice and thick, so I'm thinking maybe going out to, honestly, about where the road left off is pretty good. And so then I'll go ahead and draw this outer circle with you guys while I have you on the camera. And we'll go ahead and fit this to how we want, and then once we have the outline, I'll go ahead and fill it all in off camera. So, trying to think of the easiest way to do this. Maybe if we go out about 3 from the top corners of the M, or bottom of the W, depending on what you're looking at there, and do something like that. And then 2, and then, or 3 maybe? And maybe we will bring this back one more. Then go the rest of the way across. And that should go to about there, I think. Okay, so yeah, this should go from that point to the end, which means that this would be from there to there. And then 1 and 1. Okay, and then another 3. And then it would go back the rest of the way down there. Okay, yeah. So, a slightly easier way to look at it is if you fill in this big rectangular section, and then also on the points of the M, if you go out 3 on those diagonals, those are going to be the 2 individuals, and then they'll go out another 3 on the corner, and then all the way across. And if I'm not explaining this well enough, feel free to pause the video and take your time and just look at it to get a better idea of how the circle works. And if you want it to be a little more rounded, you can definitely cut those corners down a little bit more. If you feel like it should be a different way, do it that way. I am always supportive of trying out new things, and that's how you learn, is by doing those. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and fill in the rest of this here, I think, off camera, and then we'll be back. Alright folks, we are now back. We went ahead and filled in all that space with stone brick, and I know it looks a little bit repetitive right now, but we'll go back through and we'll actually speckle in some mossy brick and some other types of stone in order to make that look a little bit more texturized. Now, I also went ahead and added a dirt block path pretty much around the stone to try and make the integration from dirt to stone a little more subtle. And I haven't decided yet whether or not I do want to trim this section and add the path along there, but that'll probably depend on what we wind up doing with the rest of the town. So now coming back into here, I decided that this looks a little too skinny, so I want to go ahead and apply these stone bricks across the full section of stairs on the fountain. And so throughout this little grass section that we left around the fountain, we are going to be adding some bushes and some flowers, and maybe mostly flowers. We want to try to make it look a little bit more manicured. Okay, so something like that should be good. And another thing that we can go ahead and do is to make this look a little bit more official, like it's its own section, is we can layer on some little half slabs around the sides to try and give it almost a little bit of a border. I think we'll just go out about 2 on the long stretch. So now if people want to, they could still step over these little half slabs. They aren't that high up. Or they can just walk around the side, depending on what they want to do. But this just adds a little bit more decorative flair to the design. Okay, so something like that I think looks pretty good. And then another thing that I want to do here is I want to go ahead and add a few benches around the place. So now I was thinking maybe right here in these corners we could add some. Let's go ahead and give it a try here. We'll grab those, and then we'll also grab the oak trapdoors because we want these benches to look very park-like. And then... so it wouldn't work if we were to do it like that because we couldn't put that there. But I guess what we can do is we can go ahead and just do that. We'll lay these down there, place those. Okay, so something like that doesn't look too bad. And then, what if we did something like right in here? Oh wow, we have way too many grass blocks. So I don't know if we want to do maybe like a tall bush, or even a short bush probably wouldn't look too bad. And then, what if we put it in here as well? Designing this as we go, folks. So I kind of want to do maybe bushes on the outside, and we'll do a small tree on the end. So let me grab a little block here, or not block, a little fence. Speaking of too many, we have too many shovels as well. Wow, I'm really bad at that. Okay, let's go ahead and go 4 fences high on this small tree. Actually, you know, I think 3 will be enough. And then we'll go up 2 with that centerpiece. The center leaves, I should say. Oh no, because that looks a little too short. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do that. And we'll go ahead and add 1 more spruce so that's officially 4 spruce high with 2 on the outsides and 1 on top. But you can also do something like that and do that. I think it might be a little too big for what I want, so we'll just stick with the 2 on the outside and 4 fences high. That should do it. And then I'm going to go ahead and repeat these on the other 4 corners, and then we'll add some flowers as well. And we might be getting pretty close to being done here, depending on how that looks. Alright folks, we are back one last time. So as you can see, I went ahead and threw in some flowers around here, and I stuck with 3 colors. Similarly to what we did over there in the church with the stained glass, I chose 3 colors that were dark, medium, and light. And so I chose blue shades because I like blue. And we're kind of sticking with that theme for this town. So we got the dark ones in these back corners, and then we've got this long section of blue, and I don't really know how to describe this, but pretty much for these whites that are out here up in front, those are all touching the stone, basically, so they're adjacent to the stone bricks, whereas all the blue are in the middle, with the exception of these back here on the ends. And if you need to screenshot it or do whatever, do it. And don't forget that you can mix up these flowers as well. Choose your own colors. You can do more colors than 3 if you want to. The whole idea, though, is that we keep the inner flowers pretty much intentional, so we give them a pattern to make the place look a little bit more manicured. And now I also went ahead and added just a few bushes around the place, and I'm going to add in some bone meal here as well. That way it doesn't look so plain. For myself, I haven't decided whether I want to actually add maybe a little path going up the hill, or maybe a path from over here that leads up the hill, and then I could do something else over here, but it's still pretty undecided. For now though, that is going to do it for today, folks. I hope you did enjoy, and if you did, don't forget to hit the like button. If you want to see more builds like this, because they do come out multiple times a week, don't forget to hit subscribe if you haven't yet. And you get to see more cool builds featuring me and my really terrible narrative. Woohoo! Win all around, right? Without further ado, folks, we're gonna call it here, and thank you so much for watching. We will be back with another how-to video before you know it. Till then, have an awesome one. Bye!